Today you'll hear an amazing story about Cinderella. Once upon a time, there was a kind girl named Cinderella who lived with her stepmother and two mean stepsisters. While they made her clean and cook all day, Cinderella dreamed of dancing at the royal ball and seeing the world. One sunny morning, an invitation arrived from the palace. "All young ladies are invited to the royal ball," cried the stepsisters excitedly. They twirled in front of the mirror, but Cinderella whispered softly, "I wish I could go too." Her stepmother laughed. "You, in those rags, never." The next days were busy as the stepsisters prepared dresses and fancy shoes. "Cinderella, bring my ribbons. Cinderella, polish my shoes," they shouted. Poor Cinderella sighed. She helped them with everything, but her own heart ached. "If only I had a dress to wear." When the big night arrived, the stepsisters and stepmother left for the palace, leaving Cinderella alone in the kitchen. She sat by the fire and cried softly. "I'll never get to dance at the ball," she whispered, wiping her tears. But suddenly, a gentle light filled the room. "Don't cry, my dear," said a sweet voice. Cinderella looked up and saw her fairy godmother. "I'm here to help you." With a wave of her wand, poof! Cinderella's old dress turned into a sparkling blue gown, and glass slippers appeared on her feet. "Now, for a carriage," said the fairy godmother. She tapped a pumpkin, and poof! It became a golden coach. "Go to the ball, but remember, the magic ends at midnight." Cinderella nodded with a smile. "Thank you," she said as she stepped into the carriage. At the palace, everyone stared as Cinderella entered the ballroom. "Who is that beautiful lady?" whispered the guests. Even the prince couldn't take his eyes off her. "May I have this dance?" he asked. Cinderella blushed and took his hand. Together, they twirled across the floor. The prince and Cinderella laughed and talked all evening. She felt like she was in a dream, but then dong! The clock began to strike midnight. "Oh no, I must go," cried Cinderella. She ran down the stairs so fast that one glass slipper slipped off her foot. The prince picked up the glass slipper. "Wait, I don't even know your name." But Cinderella was already gone, her gown turning back into rags as she ran home. She kept the other slipper hidden under her apron and whispered, "At least I have this to remember the night." The next day, the prince sent his servants across the kingdom. "Find the girl whose foot fits this slipper," he commanded. One by one, ladies tried the slipper, but it was too small for some and too big for others. The prince began to lose hope. At last, the servants arrived at Cinderella's house. The stepsisters pushed and squeezed their feet into the glass slipper, but it didn't fit. "Is there any other girl here?" asked the servant. "No," snapped the stepmother, but Cinderella stepped forward shyly. "May I try?" The stepmother and stepsisters laughed. "It will never fit her." But when Cinderella slid her foot into the glass slipper, it fit perfectly. Everyone gasped as she pulled out the matching slipper from her apron. "It's her!" cried the servant. "She's the one." The prince arrived at the door just in time. "I found you," he said with a big smile. "Will you come back to the palace and be my princess?" Cinderella's eyes sparkled. "Yes, but only if I can keep being kind to everyone around me." The prince nodded happily. A royal wedding was planned, and the kingdom celebrated for days. Cinderella invited everyone, even her stepmother and stepsisters. They were surprised, but Cinderella said, "Kindness is stronger than anger." Slowly, their hearts began to change too. Cinderella became a beloved princess. She danced in the ballroom often but never forgot her old friends. She visited the kitchen, helped the maids, and told children, "Dreams can come true if you're kind and brave." The glass slippers were placed in a golden box as a reminder of her magical night, and every time Cinderella looked at them, she smiled and whispered, "I'll always remember the power of kindness and hope." One evening, Cinderella danced with the prince under the stars. "This is even better than my dream," she said softly. The prince replied, "That's because now, it's real," and they both laughed, knowing their story had just begun. The kingdom lived happily, full of music, laughter, and kindness, and Cinderella's story was told for generations, inspiring children everywhere to be brave, gentle, and never stop dreaming. Did you enjoy Cinderella's magical story? If you want to hear more wonderful tales, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more fun adventures.